Antifa, BLM, and the LGBTQ and eventually Ps have teamed up with the educational system to do communism to your kids, and you are probably paying for it. Fleccas Talks. All right into it. Our first example, this witch communist, I would guess, she's some sort of witch communist. She's in charge of preschoolers. She works with preschoolers, which are kids who are like 3 to 4 years old. And here's what she openly and unashamedly posted. Unashamedly?
Well, Dr. Seuss was mean to a lot of people. Why? Well, sometimes people are mean to others without reason when they're different than them. It's not very nice and it's not okay. Who was Dr. Seuss mean to? He was mean to people who looked different to him and people who believed different things than he did.
Oh, so he was racist like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Imagine checking in with the babysitter and it's like, oh, how's Johnny doing? Is he sitting upright? Can he feed himself? Is he like starting to recognize maybe shapes and like maybe can understand words? I looked it up. Rhyming is something that preschoolers do. And it's like, you told him, but Donald Trump is racist like Dr. Seuss? Like, that's what you've been up to? Like, this person's so visibly deranged, too. I can never imagine turning my kid over to someone who's, like, definitely crying so much in her off time. This person cries too much to watch my kid. This person goes out of her way to, like, teach about racism. So you come home and it's like, dude, does the kid know Blue? Blue's a big one. Does he know Blue? And so you're telling him what, about George Floyd instead? Just keep the kid at status quo. We don't really need you to tell him about any systematic racism or whatever you think injustices are that are happening. We can just keep it to like feeding and staying alive and not going by the pool, stuff like that, nicely touching the dog. Baby Shark on a loop would be better than this. We don't really need anything more than that. Don't go too far out of your way. Okay, next. Before we go next, the show is obviously sponsored by ShopFleccas.com. We have a brand new shirt, Trader Joe's. Look how cool this is. ShopFleccas.com. Use code Jerry for 15% off. It's a good-looking shirt. Get it while you can. Moving on. Next, we have the Pride teacher, another person who I'm sure is crying too much in her free time. This is what she had to say.
Okay, so during third period, we have announcements, and they do the Pledge of Allegiance. I always tell my class, stand if you feel like it, don't stand if you feel like it, say the words if you want, don't have to say the words. So my class decided to stand but not say the words. Totally fine. Except for the fact that my room does not have a flag. It used to be there, but I took it down during COVID because it made me uncomfortable.
It made me uncomfortable. It's like, and you're going to teach about American history? I'm sure you're going to be real fair and not biased about that.
I packed it away and I don't know where, and I haven't found it yet. But my kid today goes, hey, it's kind of weird that we just stand and then, we say it to nothing. And I'm like, oh, well, I got to find it. Like, I'm working on it. I got you. In the meantime, I tell this kid, we do have a flag in the class that you can pledge your allegiance to. And he looks around and he goes, oh, that one?
It's crazy that these teachers are exposed through these videos because they post these videos themselves. It's not like it's a secret recording and they got caught by one of the kids in this class. Like, that lady posted that to TikTok and thought it was great. China loves when they post to TikTok, things like that.
Her name is Mrs. something.
She thinks this is funny and this is cool and this is going to do, get a good laugh from everyone online. It's like the kids these days don't know anything, and this is what you're having them pledge their allegiance to. Let's take a look at one of our Justin clips and see what kids these days know about American history.
What year was the U.S. founded?
What year was it founded in? The 1500s?
What year was the U.S. founded?
1932.
Yes. What continent are we on right now?
Continent? That would be not the United States. That would be on top. I'm sorry.
So kids these days don't even know where or when they are on the planet, and she's having her students pledge allegiance to the homosexuals.
I pledge allegiance to the queers.
So we should have this go back to pledge allegiance to the flag, not pledge allegiance to the... I would never say that. I'm not going to get deleted from YouTube. Let's move on to the next one. This guy got actually really famous this week because Project Veritas exposed him. This guy Gibson, I'm not going to say his last name because he's pretending he's getting death threats. So yeah, this teacher is like openly Antifa. He has a Mao picture in his classroom. Here's what he said about how he views going into it and being a teacher.
I have 180 days to turn them into revolutionaries. Scare the fuck out of them. And there's like right-wing rallies and stuff, then we'll create an opposition to that. Yeah.
Beautiful. Where would he go to connect to some of these organizations? Like,
No, I post a calendar every week.
Awesome.
And then so like and I do it for extra credit, so they get points for doing it. Like so that encourages them to do it. Like I have an Antifa flag on my wall, and a student complained about that, and he said it made him feel uncomfortable. And I addressed it to everyone because I didn't know who he was, and I was like, well, this is meant to make fascists feel uncomfortable. So if you feel uncomfortable, I don't really know what to tell you. Like maybe you shouldn't be aligning with the values that this is antithetical to.
So Project Veritas completely skewered this guy. They caught him on camera saying the things he said. They have the pictures of the Mao Zedong picture in his classroom. He has a communist tattoo on his chest. R.C. Maxwell, a.k.a. Black Hannity, ran into him and confronted him in the street. He was wearing a communist shirt. Like, he's not even trying to hide it. All these people, which is like the big takeaway here, they're not even hiding it. They think these views are mainstream and they think they're acceptable. And now they're trying to influence our kids and make it even worse. So let's kind of pull the reins back a little bit is what I would say. Remember the days when the communists would kind of like hide and be scared and embarrassed and like meet in secret? Well, those days are over, and whatever their meetings were, I guess they're doing now, and the trap is sprung. And whatever it is, it's some sort of medical LGBTQIA and eventually BLM, racist, Antifa jambalaya, and it's going to get poured on us. And it's happening now, and it's going to burn, and we got to get out of the way and reverse it and dump the cauldron on them. So like working your way up from what we've seen so far, when you're very little, you learn that Donald Trump is racist, just like other things from America's pastime, Dr. Seuss. Then you get to, middle school, and then you pledge allegiance to the homosexuals, the homosexual flag, and the pride people. And then after that, you graduate, and you get up to, the final level where this guy tries to convince you to join Antifa and become a revolutionary. And it kind of like, if you get your brain poisoned enough, it makes sense, and it progresses in a way where that is the next result. You graduate, and you go to college, you get into student debt, you have nothing going for you, and now you're going to go protest and be mad about it because it's everyone else's fault. But you know whose fault it is? It's the fault of these teachers, and it's the fault of the parents who turn your children over to people who are so visibly deranged. It's very easy to see. I would be able to really sniff this out pretty quick. I would know and be like, oh, my kid's not going to be in that class. My mom would never let that happen.
They are coming from my job and what I love doing in the classroom, and they are going to run this campaign and get public pressure behind them, and it is very likely that the district will cave in regards to this, and I'm hopeful that they don't, and all support at this moment is greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Well, there's the roadmap. There's public outrage. Now they're coming for his job, and then he's going to get fired. That's great. That worked. This guy's toast. At best, he can be a substitute teacher who maybe comes in and plays like a Michael Moore video or something. Other than that, he's toast. Adios. Also, if you look closely at his tattoo, it says INGSCO, which is the police state from 1984. So, like, this guy's like a full nut. Like, I think he's on the bad guy's side from 1984.
He's just full LARPing.
Full LARPing, actual communist, tattooed on his chest. And I have a rule that I don't listen to people who can't pin me, and it's for people like this. It's for like a communist like this, with skinny legs. He tries to tell the kids to do stuff, and it's like, buddy, we don't need more kids in skinny jeans to get picked last for stuff. And it's like, just because that was you, and it's fine, there's all different kinds of kids, but just because that's you, it would be like the kid who got picked last coaching the team and telling everyone why we don't want to play football anymore. There's actually more better sports out there, and like the game's happening. And you're just going and taking the kids off course in a very crucial time in their life. So that's basically what's going on here. And like, this guy's never done anything in his life. He's never accomplished anything. He's never built anything. And now he's going to like go teach the kids to what? Be better than him? It's like, how can you? Now we have a ceiling on these kids' life if we listen to this guy too much. And it's going to be, you'd be this tattooed loser who thinks communism's cool. No brains. And that's why we have to be very aware of who we're sending our kids to all day. So I don't have kids. I'm sure maybe you guys do. You got to be careful. If they see anything weird that's happening, or you have some stories, comment below. Let us know in the comments. Another takeaway from this is look how effective this exposure via viral clips has been. All these teachers are now fired or suspended, and the parents are really putting up a fight against it. So that's probably the best takeaway from all of this is if you get this out there and get this information out there and you push back on the school board, there will be changes done. You're not helpless, but you kind of have to do it yourself. I think it's safe to say, parents, if your kid's teacher looks like this or any iteration of this, any sort of side shave, purple hair, weird bangs situation thing, you can't send your kid to that school anymore. Pull your kid out. It's done. If you guys are in a classroom with a teacher who's trying to brainwash you, you can always send the clips to me, Austen at fleccastalks.com. It's Austen with an E, and I'll go through them and make sure you do that if it's legal to do that. Thank you guys for watching. Another Fleccas Talks in the book. ShopFleccas.com for the best merch in the game. Trader Joe's, 15% off if you use code Jerry. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you at the next one.